Good evening everybody, hello and welcome to OTL Racing here on Twitch for a one-off special event this evening. We are using the new DLC that came out a few days ago for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and yeah, we have a 90-minute race at Imola tonight, so creatively titled the OTL Imola 90. I came up with that one all by myself, very proud. Evening Loic, hope you're well. So yes, we have I think 44 drivers with us tonight. So a few that signed up that couldn't make it, but yeah, that probably would happen anyways. But yeah, looks like we've got a good showing overall. There's a car, not really fancying. Sort of left-hander, not really his thing. Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, thank you very much. Looking forward to tonight. So yes, 90 minutes of racing. All in the new Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. Not going to be the preferred car from many of them. Evening, Dave. Evening, dude. How you doing, fella? Good to see you. Yeah, we have a 20-minute practice session that will be coming to an end around 8 o'clock, and then 20-minute qualifying, and then a 1.5-hour race. So a long old evening ahead of us. And as I say, all in the same car, and some will like that, some may not. A lot of those, I don't. Oh, there's quite a few drivers here that would pick the Ferrari normally. The the non-Evo. Ferrari 488, but there's quite a few here who wouldn't, so this will be an interesting test for many of them. You can see Mormon, Sousa, Coombs, 3 drivers who pretty much always use the Ferrari. Currently sitting top of the standings on the left in the practice timings. 141.844 for Jerome. I mean, he's quick anyways, but yeah, those 3 all very much used to the Ferrari. Could see them benefit a bit. Yeah, they're a tad. They're not the easiest car to drive, from what I have seen and heard. I mean, if you like the previous, the main Ferrari, then I'm sure they'll love these, which is why you'll see those Ferrari drivers further forward tonight, I'm sure. We'll be doing more, Dave. Don't worry, there's plenty more coming. Plenty more where this came from. But it's nice to have a one-off. Make a one-off event. It's not a team endurance type thing, but. Making use of the new content. So Jerome, I think fancies he might be done then. For now, Pastalsma popped up into second in the Ferrari. Multinational Misfits Motorsport, love the name that. Cracking car name. Show me about the colour. It's not brown, but it's not gold. Somewhere in between. And I don't like it either way. Ultimate Rainbows, what a name. Good evening. Oh, got a Jerome fan. Yeah, he's got his fans. And oh yeah, someone fancied. Baz aside, I'm going to go into the pits. Why not have a crash? Have a free crash. One time I'm allowed to. When it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I'll be honest, Dave, that was where I was going to go with it. But I thought, maybe I won't, so I'm glad you did it for me. A touch of what? Yeah. Touch, a hint of, yes, just a hint of wall. More like a headbutt of wall, that was. But yeah, he's up in second. So yeah, looking good at the moment. So you'll see a slightly mixed order, maybe compared to what we used to. Got quite a few drivers who don't do our league races as well. So it's going to be nice to see how they do. Quite a few that do, quite a few that have done our league races or have popped into our league race as of last week, as filling up spaces that had become available. They did not. I think we started our our current season just before our recent Monza 6-hour race, and quite a few of them were like, "Wow, we'd quite like to do your leagues." Plus, we've known them for a little while, so yeah, they've hopped into the recent season. Coombs being one of them, again in his Ferrari, Skid Marks Motorsport, lovely, beautiful name. That's the look Baz said he wanted to go. Yeah, I can. Evening, Connor. When someone goes for that colour, oh, gee, let's start that again. When someone goes for that colour, Connor, then if they make a car that colour, that you have to be trying to make it that colour. You don't do that accidentally and go, like that. Oh, lovely. Just the right hint of brown and green and what Dave said. You've got to really to make it that sort of browny grey, you've got to be aiming for like baby's first poo kind of. Not, it's not nice. Just could have gone for any colour. The game has many to pick from, but no. Well, you can say to Baz, well done. He nailed it. Has just, I mean, there's quite a few pink cars in the race. Let's see. I mean, he's one of them. So let's have a look. Chase cam. Well, that's not much use to us, is it? He's one of these. We'll see him pop out in a minute. Car number 4. Now, which one of those is he? Frankly, I don't think he has. Oh, no, he hasn't. Look at that. Ooh. Blue and black. Lovely. No, I'm surprised there. Evening, Joe. Both of us would be matte black. Oh, craggy. That's not healthy. I'm assuming you're Dan then, MSL Racing. Mr. Lofts. Evening. I did say you can race. Ah, okay. That's a shame. Yeah, I did see why. Hope you get your homework done. Yeah, and they'll be flying the flag, and they'll be pretty close to the front with how they are very much used to the Ferrari, I am sure. So let's go on board then with Adam Stevens, doing quite well so far actually, considering he normally drives a Bentley. Very much not a Ferrari. But going for the nice patriotic colourway there. It's a bit of red and green. Don't mind that. It's going to be one of the least standout colours. But a penny on Mormon, fair enough, Kamikaze. Yeah, well, to be fair, that's probably a wise investment. He's 8 tenths up in practice. Considering he's always in a Ferrari and is rapid, I fancy his chances too. I think that is a smart investment. Yeah, he's going to take some beating tonight, and to be honest, for someone like Vitor, is probably the best bet to do so. But yeah, we've got 45 in the lobby. Yeah, we do. So, nice large grid. So it's going to be interesting. Quite a few may struggle a little bit in the Ferrari. You can see some are a little bit off the pace. But doing their best. Try and get this round cleanly for an hour and a half. Not going to be easy. Shubik Chatterjee did our Monza 6-hour race. So I'll see him on circuit again. Got Robert Lovelace. Let's see him here and there on circuit. Takes part in a few endurance races as part of our OTL teams. So good to see him racing tonight. Looks like he only gets cake if you win. I mean, that's not a bad prize. Evening, Marco. I actually think cake's a cracking trophy to win. It's much more usable than a trophy that sits on a shelf. True. Could depend on what cake. To be honest, I'm probably going to say yes either way. I have got the figure of a man that very much hasn't turned down much cake in his past. Put it that way. Oh dear. An apple, what, to offset the cake? Just because of the calories that you can't, you know, you want to keep him healthy. Really needs to... Maybe he's into apples more than cakes. He might be that kind of way inclined. He might be a very healthy eating type of chap. Yeah, they're a weird feature on Twitch, aren't they, Dave? Highlighted messages. So I read them all anyway, so here's one with purple background. Woohoo! I'll weigh him down a bit, that. Should have had the cake afterwards. Not smart. Yeah, he's going to do well. I'm sure we're going to see him doing pretty well tonight. He's already a couple of tenths up on his current lap. So it's nice to do a bit of Imola. It has come to ACC that they had the opportunity to put it in the game, and they've done so. It's a track I quite enjoy. Maybe not in the Ferrari, but I enjoy. And yeah, I think the same will be said for many of these tonight. So, checkered flag coming out, so most of them being done. Mormon improving his time. Yeah, again, that's all 1:41.1. So yeah, that's going to be hard to live with for many of them. So outcome in the rally there. Not quite how you take it from Jake James, but he won't mind too much. That is what his practice is for. It's gone forward with Josh Webster, so no, he isn't. He's not in a pink car. I was expecting him to be as well, but no. He's in all of the sausage curbs. That goes well. So yes, that did not work well for him. Another Ferrari driver, Mav Gardner. As in, when I say Ferrari, I mean they're all Ferrari drivers tonight, very obviously. Someone who is a bit more used to the Ferrari. It's currently in 18th, but you can see how congested that mid-pack is. A few tenths here or there is going to move you quite a few positions. Be interested to see the drivers further back who may be struggling a little bit in practice. Hopefully they'll pop it up a little bit further in the timings once we get to quali and the race. Evening Aid, sir. Hello, hello. All the best with your race. That's not bad then. That's not bad. So some of these drivers that they're going to be a nightmare to beat because they're very, very used to the Ferrari, and they're very, very quick regardless. Someone like Gironi, you can see at the top, and Vitor Sousa, and those, they're rapid. Stephen's looking pretty handy though. It's 3/4 of a second back in the Ferrari. A bit surprised at that, to be honest. Maybe he's maybe it's a calling he needs to go to then. Maybe the Bentley is not his vehicle of choice.
Green light, green light.
Right, let's get going then.
Go, go, go.
Into 20 minutes of qualifying. Ferraris aplenty. I think they've got a good chance, Joe. Yeah, 100%. I thought that was quite a nice funky coloured livery. It turns out it was 2 cars. Damn. Oh well. I was like, oh, that's quite oh, never mind. Now that is a Q. It's a very British Q, that is. Not very well, not very socially distanced, but we'll forgive them that. They are sat in cars. That kind of helps. See, someone's gone, I don't fancy this. I'm going to wait and have my own space. Or they've gone, ah, damn it, I put the wrong setup on. So it's yeah, first time we've done a one-make race on ACC. Actually, we've looked at possibly doing it beforehand, but the first time we've actually gone ahead and ran one. So it's going to be interesting. So I know plenty might find this car a little bit of a struggle. It's 90 minutes. I'm sure we might see a few cars being lapped. But there are going to be those further back are going to be quite a way off the pace, I'm sure. But that pace is going to be pretty formidable. So there's no shame in that. Verstappen. It's really hard to say your name, but evening. Yeah, Isaac could do. Oh, he could do. 100% he could do. If he's racing, that is. There he is. Okay, double checking. I was like, is he still here? Yeah, he is. Oh, funky looking livery that. Interesting tones of pink and blue that. Quite like it in a weird way. I'm not sure. I like it, but I can't work out why. Oh, my chat just completely crashed. That's weird. One mate was a great idea given the new car. Oh yeah, in this, we have to, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm sure quite a few in this race would rather we'd pick the AMG. But hey ho, you can't have it all. Beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight. It's going to be a bit of an art, just making Merrin to bottle it. That's supportive, isn't it? There's nothing like a bit of banter. Oh great, another one. God, we're getting those by the dozen now. Ban. Our moderation bots don't do a very good job. I think I need to rehire. I think quite a few would have much preferred the AMG, probably for very good reason. So Pillbeam, as you can see, teammate to Fairweather. Usually, that's easy to pick them out. It's interesting to see how he fares this evening. We've got Zamfir Radu, does our league races, racing with us tonight. Got another Jerome, can't move for quick Dutch racing drivers called Jerome. I think it's the 4th that we've had in OTL races. OPAMG, a little bit. It's a little bit, that's probably why they would like to race it, I'd imagine, Dan. That's probably. So, yeah, it's good. Can we drive it? No. I don't like the Ferrari. Well, that's what you're all driving. Oh. Find out what they want and then give them complete opposite. That's not what we've done, by the way, but, it would be funny. But no, you've got to use. I think everyone's going to use the AMG all the time. I think I've given the Ferrari a run out. And it's Imola. It's Italian track, so. Yeah. Someone knocks at the door, dum dum dum, walks in. Oh, it's 40 AMGs bursting in to ruin the race. And take a curb properly. Jensen Pace. I do like that name. Very racing driver name, that, isn't it? Jensen Pace. Superb. Distinctive Racing. His team name. Fairly distinctive livery as well. Menderes just ahead of him. Flavion Tefferi. Mr. Death himself in 38th. currently haven't set a time. So let's go up to the top and see who is currently sitting proud in provisional pole. Jake Coombs, 1:41.757, so a good start. That's within 3/4 of a tenth of the time you saw from that moment in the practice session. Brugnata trying to be, I don't know. I'll let you read the team name in yourselves. Honestly, you let a man name a team and it always has something to do with that. Always. One day, Joe. Just every time you get 200 coins and gone. Save and save and save and gone again. Yeah, I have to work out something useful to do with those one day, but very few channels do. I'm not a weird concept on Twitch. Those channel points. Pilbeam up in third. 1:42.159 is current best. Scott Vincent. Got with him briefly. Vicente Racing. There we go. It'll be interesting to see how he fares tonight. Aiden Bro. Vincent just about to come over the line. We'll see if he improves. We did by a few thousandths. There's Aiden Bro. So not often see him in a Ferrari. Butler Powell Motorsport. So looked decent in practice. I think as he said that in the stream chat, that was on race fuel. So yeah, you might fancy it tonight. Not going like that though. Grass is not grippy. Not compared to the tarmac anyways. Quinton van Vingerden. Like his team name. On and over the limit racing. OTL. Very nicely done, Quinton. Up in ninth at the moment. I'm pretty happy with that. Geordie Sanders popping up to fourth. I think now that is a bright pink car. There we go. Lovely. Enable Mile Racing driver. Another Dutchman. Can't move for quick Dutch drivers. Something in the blood. Well, that's a lovely looking livery if I say so myself, Flavian. Beautiful job there, man. Very shiny. Can literally use that as a mirror. But no, that's I'll be honest, that's one of my favourite liveries in this race this evening. And fair play to him there. He could have gone and tried to get round past that car and lunge. You know, he just backed off a little bit. So fair play. Lost some time doing so as well. Andy Medell. Not a name I've not seen for quite a long time, back in the days of Xbox and a bit of Assetto Corsa, a bit of Project Cars 2, and yeah, now finds himself, has been on PC for a little while. Good to see him racing tonight. Not a bad start to it either, 1.6 seconds back, currently sitting 14th. Still got a handful of drivers, about 8 or 9 drivers still to set a time. So there's a lot of traffic, be a lot of invalidated laps. Got Ash Gledall coming over the line, does he set a time? Nope, so still trying to get that clean lap. Same for Kieran Sharp. Again, just traffic everywhere, so everyone trying to fight their way through as best they can. Evening Smudger, if I haven't already said evening. I think I tried. 45 at the moment, so I think maybe one isn't in here that was. Not sure who. Oh, Sharp up to 6th. Good time that one, 41.9. Still about half a second back off of Loveless, who currently sits at top of the tree. We'll go back and board with him in a second. Action up into 20th, 1.8 seconds back. So Robert Loveless driving it like he stole it, as he so often does. Stevens up in second, Coombs third. It's very simple Ferrari livery that. Very on brand. Quite enjoy that. I think that's Kieran Sharp just behind him as well, I believe. Andrew Pike. Well, Fish sailing very close to the win there on team names you shouldn't put. He thinks he's being clever, chat, as well. That's the problem. Like, he would have giggled like a schoolboy writing that in. I'm assuming you can see the team name in the bottom right. I'll leave it there for a second. Evening the Clannies. Such a child. Such a child. OTL driver. Well, an OTL I've been nonetheless. But, oh dear, dear. Some mothers do have them, I believe, is the saying. Stevens up into pole then. Looking very fighty. It's a bit German. I mean, Not the same, very obviously. I know how much those two countries hate each other, but yeah, I mean, it's Dave. I don't know if you remember. It was Fish's name for the Monza race was Harden Long Motorsport. So you can see where he goes with that. And there's about 4 people in that I've found so far with team names that have something phallic in the name. So you can't say how it's like that. Yeah. Who does it? Yeah. Not with Final Fantasy. Oh, dear. Oh, so you've upset them already, Smudge. What are you going and done that for? It's no improvement. Loveless and Coombs in the pits. Pilbeam up in 4th. And quite strong coming through Aqua Minerali. We've got some cars up ahead of him though, so that's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside if he catches them anytime soon. Brignara up in 4th. Some funky colours as well. Slightly peculiar yellowy green, not quite as bad as that car we saw earlier, but yeah, it's a questionable tone. Enjoy, Dave. Enjoy, man. Glad you can drive it now, to be honest. Evening, Dale. Hello, sir. Let's go with leg. So, I know he said he's, I mean, as you can see from his team name, is in the wall racing tonight. So that's how confident he is of keeping this thing on the tarmac. Very much an AMG driver who is not comfortable in that Ferrari. Oh, I'm sure he can do. I'm sure he can do well tonight. I'm sure he can put a good show in. He's quite a long way up on his lap at the moment, though. So this is going to move him. This is going to move him quite a long way forward. This is going to move him at least 13, 14 positions forward. He's gaining about a second here, as long as this is a valid lap. Goes from 36. Does he improve, or does it not improve? Or did he invalidate it? Yes, no, he invalidated it. Dear, dear, unlucky leg. That's guy, and that would have put him. And that would have put him. Yeah, it would have been miles further forward. I think it would have been about 15th or 16th. He'll be glad about that. Hey ho, we'll get him off amongst it again. Oh, fun, Smudge. Evening, Sean. Hey, dude. Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well, man. Watched a fair bit of the race yesterday. It was entertaining, especially from Jardio's stream. You don't see a roof of a car coming at you very often, do you? I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it went well, all right. But yeah, that keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? There's endurances like that. Always keep you on your toes. You never know what's about to happen. I tuned in literally 3 seconds, by the way, before that happened. I missed the initial crash. I tuned in. Jardio's car was facing the wrong way. And then I could see the roof of another car. And I was like, well, that's not meant to happen, very clearly. So yeah, a little bit of a surprise. But it's not as much as it was for them, though. So Mormon sat in the pits. He's not going out. 7 minutes. Oh, well timed. Yeah, he is going out again. 7 tenths off. So he has to be one of the favourites to be on pole. So he needs to push on that time. It's a good 6 or 7 tenths slower than he went in practice. So very similar to the current provisional pole time is what he set in the pre. Oh, hello. Yep, that's not how you do that. But hey ho, again, as long as you're not doing it in the race. You won't mind too much. Not a bad livery, that. Quite enjoy that too. Cheers, Davey boy. Cheers, man. Yeah, same Sean. That's the maddest thing I've ever seen. Oh, that sucks, Killian. See what you can do, man. So if you can't fix it, you can't fix it. It's don't worry, we understand. Obviously, from our point of view, nothing you can do. But hope you can fix it. You can get involved. But yeah, same Sean. So maddest thing I've seen that SRO crash where there's like 40 cars involved, but that last night was just the weirdest, most intense thing I've seen. So no one at the moment really improving on their laps. Got Camprigi down in 34th at the moment, improving by about half a second. So there's about 6 or 7 positions to be gained here, especially if we can get a little bit of a slipstream. No, it's always the way though, isn't it, Killian? You're like, right, I'm looking forward to this. On. Why is it not work? I've pressed on, nothing's happened. Yeah, don't worry, I know that feeling all too well. Always brakes at the precise moment you really need it to not brake as well. Definitely do all the stupid stuff first. Make sure it's plugged in. Make sure the lead in the back hasn't, like the kettle lead or whatever you've got in there, hasn't wiggled loose or something like that, because that's happened before to me. Oh man, oh no. I'd have chundered everywhere, Sean, if I was in VR for that. If I was the other car, if I'm Jarjay, I would have code browned. Yes, I told you, Leg, I didn't like the car. Evening, Leg. Yeah, you've been alright. You were on a lap earlier that was going to move you quite a long way forward. You just invalidated it. So you're not far off. You can definitely do it. Yeah, Streamlabs OBS is always a bit interesting. Haven't had that quite happen yet, but has its moments. Let's go on board with Aidan Bro. There he is, hiding behind the other. It feels like weird. It hasn't changed camera. Oh, there he is, just hiding. 3 tenths up on his best lap at the moment. So possibly up into second or third. If we can gain any more time, he'll be in with a shout here. I've now been that pole position. Getting ahead of ourselves there, still 90 minutes of racing. Like you say, turn one's going to be interesting, as they always are. Hey, look, we did Monza 2 weeks ago, so yeah, we're brave like that. So I've lost a little bit of time, yeah, and I think we'd abandoned, so wasn't really going to gain any time there. I don't think we'd have moved up a position. And that, I think I might just get a couple of changes done. Get back out on circuit. Bruniara up in third in that odd-coloured Ferrari. Doubt they'll ever make it that a factory choice. Do rather hope not, anyways. Mormon push in. Let's go and work on board with him. Haven't seen him for a little while. 7 tenths back, but it's half second up on his best lap at the moment. 141.8. It needs to be a 141.160 to jump Stevens for this pole position. And he'll have to go again, so lost a bit of time towards the end of that lap. He'll go one more time. Yeah, that's what I love about AMG, but ACC, flipping 3-word acronyms. It's what I love about ACC though. Like, some people love the Ferrari, some people hate it. People love the AMG, hate it. So, I mean, I like that. There's, I mean, you've got those irritating people that are quick and everything, but that's just jealousy, by the way. So yeah, still not many improvements happening at the moment. Josh Webster, just within a second. Last driver within a second of pole, sitting in 13th at the moment. Himself and Kieran Sharp, both a couple of tenths up on their best laps. Currently, would be a few positions gained for both of them if either of them could improve. Kieran Sharp 4 tenths up now, so he's popped up into 5th position. So just over 4 tenths back off of pole. I think Josh has lost a little bit of time in that end of the lap. Yeah, did not gain anything in the end, so maybe a couple more attempts for him. Jerome still pushing, but definitely not achieving the times he knows he can set. So look at his last lap, a 142 to 141.8 still his best lap. 41.1 he set in the practice session before. So he's some way off what we know he can achieve. To be honest, Killian, you might be the best place to start sometimes. Our league race on Thursday, the two drivers that didn't get a valid lap in practice because it was wet in Silverstone, it was carnage, like just hard, really hard. They started 35th and 36th. They finished 8th and 9th. No, I believe not, Killian. Just a 100% double check, but I'm pretty sure it's just it's a maximum stint time instead. So you will have to pit, but there's no pit window. But you can only go, double check, I believe you can only go 65 minutes without pitting. So driver stint time 65 minutes. So basically, you can't go longer than 65 minutes without pitting. So if you want to pit as early as possible and then go to the end, you've got to wait 25 minutes. So yeah, just better than having a little pit window in the middle, really. Reevan spin solid. Yeah, how are you, man? Hope you're well. Still dizzy. Oh, 7th and 8th rather. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, they've unbelievably. They started at the back near each other and then finished near each other. Well, Stevens has improved it down to a 41.082. Crikey, he is looking strong tonight. I think he's going to be a good shout in this race. So round the 2.9 to 3. Back is no, it's all the spinning you keep doing, Ruben. It's not good for you, man. That's just funny. It's only one practice session I've seen you in, and I think I saw you spin 3 times. It's just, I think it's stuck a little bit. Oh, sorry, Dal. That made me laugh. What's the fuel usage? Really fucking high. Just lots, all of it. You give it fuel, it's gone. It's all gone. You haven't moved yet, but it's all gone. Oh, that is a lot. So Drone, up on his time. Is it a valid lap though? That's the important thing. If so, how far will he move up? It's maybe going up to 4th or 5th if it is a valid... Oh no, it's up all up to 2nd. So he's had a really great last corner. Really pushed it up another 10th. Got all the way up into 2nd, but not able to take that pole position. It looks like that is going to Adam Stevens. A couple with Jake Coombs though. Currently in 5th. 0.45 of a second back. Not up on his current lap. So I think he may be done. I'd be surprised if he abandons. No, he keeps going. So he might stick a few thousandths out here. Might be able to hop past Brugnara. Maybe even Loveless. Will he gain more positions than that? Let's see though. No, it does not improve. There's only 3 thousandths between him and Brugnara in front. But he stays down in 5th. Aidan Bro still out on circuit. A few tenths up on his lap as well. So he will be pushing. There are positions here to be gained for sure. Oh, no, okay, yeah, it's this amount of cars you're always going to get. Yeah, it's people that don't do stuff that they should do. It's a bit infuriating. It's always going to be the way, isn't it? With racing, it's hard to stop. We do shout at them, don't worry. We do yell nicely, but we don't worry. We make sure they know. Currently a few tenths up. Now that last corner uses as much of that curb on the outside. Oh, he's going to another 10th, possibly 2 here. So this is going to be a nice, good lap here. I think this is popping him up into 2nd. Probably quite a clear 2nd if he hasn't invalidated at any point. I'm sure he hasn't if he's kept going. There we go. Yeah, so a good 3/4 of a 10th ahead of Jerome. Takes up into a 2nd spot. So we'll start on the front row. I'm into 2-1 on the fly note. Everyone was also pointing 4 people like holy mate. Yeah, it's the other thing we've got to remember as well with this race. This isn't so we've assessed and evaluate for all of our races. This hasn't had that. So there are drivers in here. This is the first OTL race they've ever done. As I'm sure Sharpie will have mentioned, so this is a bit more of a fun night to see what people are like, and anyone that drives like a lunatic in this, it will obviously not do them overly well if they try to get into leagues afterwards. But yeah, it's all the fun when there's that many cars on track. Trying to live with that is a tricky one. Evening, Mav. Evening. So yeah, let's look at the timetables then. And great lap from Stevens, 41.082, really cracking that. Just over a 1/4 of a second clear of Aidan Bro. In 2nd, Moorman and Loveless. 3rd and 4th, Brugnara, Coombs, Kieran Sharp, Desmond Fitzpatrick, James Pilbeam and Geordie Sanders. Rounding out your top 10. Yeah, other than that, Killian, no, you're good to go. So I've never driven the car. I've got no setup. But apart from that, God, that is a lot of Ferraris, isn't it? Oh, that's an expensive car park. If the world's biggest piano was just to fall from the sky and just dong, that's a lot of damage. When I say world's largest piano, it'd have to be about 300 metres long, but you get the idea. It's expensive, isn't it? Very pricey. Let's see if we can get a better helicam shot. Nope, didn't think so. What if I select someone further back? No, not really. Yeah, I was hoping it would go from in front, but there we go. Camera set 1. Get rid of the stand-ins. It's quite a lot of cars. No, it's a nice colourful grid, isn't it? But yeah, let's see. Good luck, Killian. So starting in 46th, but definitely has the pace to push through. He's got an hour and a half to do so as well. So no excuses. Lovely amount of Amazon and advertising there. Can't get away from them, can we? So let's get back. The time is on screen. 1.5 minutes to go. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So you've got drivers like, for example, as you saw in the chat a minute ago, Isaac Fairweather sat in 32nd. We know he can push much, much closer to the front, if not pretty much out the front. Definitely within the top 10. So there will be drivers out of position. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it. It's, yeah, so do we, Mav. Trust me, no one wants to go well more than I do. You haven't seen what goes on behind the scenes when it doesn't. Oh boy. So yeah, fingers crossed. So it's not going to be the easiest. It said there are quite a few new drivers signed up for tonight. Not loads and loads. Quite a few have done endurance events with us and whatnot. But you know, there was not there wasn't like an evaluation just for this race or an assessment just for this race. Just a quick one-off like fun event. So yeah, hopefully all will go well. But there are 46 cars on track. It's Imola. I'm sure the gravel may have to be used at some point. It's not, hopefully not the wall, just the gravel. But yeah, it is motor racing. So I'm sure something will happen here or there. But fingers crossed for as clean a race as possible for all involved. So it's definitely a sort of thing we want to be doing a bit more often. These nice sort of fun one-offs, special events, if you will. So it's fun to use the one car race this time, just a one make event, as it had come out, and it's nice to see so many sign up for the Ferrari. So here we go then, nice full formation lap. And away we go. So yeah, it's tricky, not the easiest circuit. So coming down to Tamburello, I'm sure you'll see the odd mistake. People sometimes go off on their own volition. Tamburello and Villeneuve, not the easiest corners. Piratelli, see people go quite wide at. Aqua Minerale as well. The obvious, I mean, I love that corner. Well, when you nail Aqua Minerale, oh, it feels beautiful. So the downhill right and then the uphill right-hand exit. Lovely when you nail it. Out to Variante Alta, the bus stop chicane. And yeah, the AMG can pretty much hop over those. This Ferrari, I'm not so sure. So it's a long old grid, as we know. Oh, someone ended up in the pit. So what? Josh Webster hasn't. I think Josh Webster has not clicked OK, or hasn't clicked drive, and he's going to be starting from the pits by the looks of things. So that is a bummer. Killian, I'm starting at the back. So similar fun for both of them. So, let's go on board then again with the front of the grid. So yeah, the rear of this grid is going to be a long way back. Luckily, hell of a long straight. So once they start forming up, we should all be good. So just coming through Piratella now. Down towards the Aqua Minerale. So you do have to be a bit more careful now. New tyre model. You very much do have to be a bit more careful about tyre temps. You do need to get them warmed up on this formation lap. You do not want to be entering into the first lap with cool tyres. So you can go to the OTL Racing website, otlracing.com. We had our own Joe LaCour had a little write-up on the website about the new changes and what they mean to the engine, to the tyre model. So if you fancy giving that a read, do head over there. Yeah, I think it's. I wonder what issues. It's tech issues always a flipping way, isn't it? So yeah, Josh still in the pit, still in the lobby. So hopefully he'll still get going when the race gets underway. Still an hour and a half. So much time for them to sort themselves out and still be in the race and get involved. So yeah, fingers crossed for a clean race for everybody here. I want a clean as race as possible, just so everyone has a fun experience. Not naive. I know that may not happen, but fingers crossed. So pretty much all formed up then. Look at that sight. There's a lot of shiny Ferraris coming down towards the line. Just the rear of the pack all just sorting themselves out. So 23 rows of the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. All ready to go. Stevens, your provisional pole taker. On the left hand side, Aidenborough. Front in the front of the right-hand side of the grid. All being very studious. And there we are, coming down to the line. So, 90 minutes of racing. Hopefully a clean first lap.
Green light, green light.
And they are away. Stevens getting a really good launch there. Himself and Aidan Brogue getting a cracking start. We've got Jerome Moorman in third, Loveless alongside. You've got Brugnara just behind them. All trying to filter their way through nice and early. Go back to the mid-pack. Everyone filtering through okay at the moment. Let's see if too much has gone on. Oh, there's a Ferrari off in the gravel. So it was green and black Ferraris. Don't think they were teammates, just similar liveries. So we've seen one car have it and off. Oh, there's another one, and there's another one following him off. So to find out in a second who those are, and that is one of the world's worst rejoins I've ever seen. So we'll have to see that afterwards. Did not look great. That Ferrari near the back, was that... let's see who that was. Was that... was not Webster. Who was that? Was that Radu? No, can't find it for the life nor money. So we'll go back on board with them in a little bit then. But yeah, so car contact aplenty on that one, as we probably imagined. So we'll have to see. It's always a bit hard to tell in the moment, but it did not look great. But yeah, not the world's worst pile up for sure. Oh, and Loveless has had not a good first lap at all. So where is he down to now? I'm going to have to try and find him. Ryan Meanin has already moved up to 31st. And Loveless just plummeting down the order. So what's happened to him? If I can even find him. Oh, down to 40th. Deary dear. So he's top 5 or 6 at the start. So he's had an absolute nightmare. Well, that's Clever's at the pull off, so he's going to have to let everyone pass now. If he can still get going, that's going to be a nightmare to let everyone back on. So he's going to lost a few positions once the order of the standings on the left has sorted itself out at the end of the first lap. So now they've got Lugger down in 29th, so not a car he's particularly comfortable with, but still going strong. Still plenty of time to, in the wall racing. Yeah, he's very optimistic about his chances this evening. That's how much he doesn't like the car. Oh, sorry if you've just gone deaf. That was the game doing its explosion thing, so apologies for that. So, great start from Adam Stevens, 0.642 of a second lead. Aidan Brogue, Jerome Moorman, second and third. Moorman, got those three have already got a fairly decent gap on the rest. Brugnara back in fourth. So we look at that 1.1 seconds back. Sharp as well, Fitzpatrick. So they spread out a little bit. That Pilbeam back in 8th, all over the back of Geordie Sanders. Got Pimolo and Sousa behind him for company as well. Scott Vincent on their tail. Baz Tolsma, Andrew Pike, Flavian Teferi in 14th. Chris Downing in 15th position. So yes, a long old race. We'll get on to a lot of the drivers as the race is going on. Clearly quite a bit has gone on the first lap, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch back later on for sure. You see quite what caused them. Forever the optimist, absolutely. It's always difficult to know, because sometimes it's just, people might have just made a genuine mistake, and sometimes you get caught up. There's some tyre marks on circuit. You wonder what's happened to them there. Tolsma looking up the inside. Oh, that's a bit aggressive in that his bright brown car. So can you have bright brown? Not sure that's a real thing. I think that was on Sousa, and he loses that. Actually, Sousa did okay. Kept the car pointing in the right direction, and it's Tolsma that will lose a few positions. So yeah, a little bit aggressive coming to the last turn, but he pays for it anyways. So I think that's Toby Farrington just coming out of the pit, so he's popped in early. So there might be a few that have to pit early on. Jensen Pace, I think, is done while he's in the pits for sure. So we'll see later on for what happened to him. Number 55 livery. Good lord, who's number 55? I could be here all week trying to work out who that is. No, it's Menderes. Let's have a look on board then. Yeah, nice and simple. Sitting in 24th at the moment. Ryan Meanin only a few positions behind him already. So Ryan Meanin making a cracking start. Sometimes it's all you've got to do at the early part of these sort of races. Keep your nose clean. And just work your way forwards bit by bit as the chances present themselves to you. You don't have to rush. Oh, dearie dear, thank you, cameraman. Never too soon. So up in 16th, he'll be pretty happy with that. I don't think he's. I wouldn't have thought he's driven this Ferrari much at all. if at all. He may not have, other than the practice session, this may even have been the first time he's in the car. Might be wrong. Either way, it's not bad at all. Be happy with 16th. Got Van der Velden then, 32nd. Pellicano just behind him. Atkinson just ahead for the top 20. Just a little bit out of reach at the moment. About 8 tenths to a second up the road. Isaac Fairweather, who we were mentioning earlier on, down in 23rd, so we know he can improve. Menderes, Van Vingerden and Coombs. And Ryan Meaden really close behind. So there's a bit of a train forming already there, right in that mid-pack. So not easy to try and forge your way through. Putting on board the front runners. We'll go back to that fight again in a little bit. So Bro 1.5 seconds back from Stevens already. So he's made a great start as Adam Stevens. Moorman not letting Bro move too far from him. Let's go back off into the mid-pack. Let's go and watch another driver we haven't seen much of this evening. Matt Acton, currently up in the 19th. Oh, Lorotal, evening, ma'am. Good to see you as always. Yeah, no worries, Ben. No worries, Ben. Don't mind doing that. More than happy to go and have a gander at people, especially in a race like this. There'll be people I maybe don't watch at all or miss out on a little bit. So always happy to do that here and there. I've got 90 minutes. Everyone should get a little bit of a chance, shouldn't they? Really. Yeah, how are you doing, Lorotal? Hope you're well. It's always good to see your name when you pop up. Nice to see you start watching again. Hope you've had a okay 2020 as well as they can go. Can't wait for 2021. Fingers crossed that's better than... I mean, it can't be worse than 2020, surely. Yeah, a little bit, Lorotal. Yeah, I mean, the ACC event's always much more popular to watch. Understandably, there's a lot of drivers in them. So, that's understandable. Can't up at 94. It's Baz Tolsma. A little bit of contact, so he's getting his arms out. Getting a bit of argy-bar. Oh dear, that's going to hurt. Yeah, that's straight into the wall. Hopefully he holds his brakes, doesn't spin off into the track. Really should be holding his brakes. That shouldn't be... I mean, if you're going to crash anywhere, pit entry, should be able to get going fairly easily. That is not quite how he's going to want to get turning. So hopefully get out of the way of people, not cause any issues on the straight. I'd suggest that... I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised he hasn't pitted there. So hopefully that won't mean he causes any issues. Hopefully the steering's okay. I would have given that a quick test. But fair enough, we'll see how he goes. Quite drunk, so today's going good. Yes, fair enough. It's going better than it could have done. Could be worse. So let's go with Kieran Sharp then. Where is he? Currently in 5th position. So I think that is a car that he's lapping, I believe. Have this camera shot as they come up over the brow, trying to chase Brugnara just in front of him. Yes, that was Martin Baduka. I think he was just getting past, just ahead of him. So yeah, that guy is down in 42nd, unfortunately. So did lose Jensen pace, I believe. Yeah, he is gone. Toby Farrington in the pits, maybe gone as well. So Joshua Merrin, I think last out, still on circuit. But I think maybe one of the cars that got caught up earlier. Let's go on board. Is he on? Yeah, still on circuit. So see, everyone has made that mandatory. So he's technically made a mandatory pit, but the stint time will bite him on the bottom, I think, later on. But there might be others that have to pit twice as well. So there's plenty of times for things to happen, things to change. To keep him on his toes. Typical, went on board just as he was making an overtake. And judging by this, I don't think it went very well. So as we've got no custom liveries, the replay should be a bit more usable tonight, so let's have a look. There we go, lovely. So let's see what happened once the cameraman catches him up. So we came on board just around here. So what happened? We saw he was just going to go alongside. Yeah, dips along the inside. And then just goes a bit long and off he goes into the gravel. And does he avoid contact with the other cars? Yeah, he does just about, but yeah, not a good start to the race for him. Okay, go again slowly. A few other cars having a bit of a nightmare, going off into the gravel. trying to get around the last corner, trying to get through Ravazza. But yeah, not easy. Not as easy. Robert Lovelace in the pits then. So yeah, not a good start for him. He's maybe getting a bit of damage repaired. Might have got some damage earlier on, I think, has probably decided that that's it for him. The bro still trying to do his best to hold off Mormon. Mormon not really catching him. Would have expected Sharon to maybe battle a bit more with him by now. Just 3/10 separating these two. Brignara a little bit further back. There's a bit spread out now at the front. So most of the fighting a little bit further back. We've got Jeffrey rounding out the top 10 at the moment. We've got Scott Vincent just ahead of him. You'll see Pilbeam as well. Is that Pilbeam? Yeah, that might be. I think so, actually. Jeffrey. And that is a lapped car. I think there's so many pink, bright pink Ferraris today. To a point, some of it's going to be guessing. Oh, I don't know if he might have bottled it. Someone might have bottled it into him. I think if it's a league race, I think we'd be seeing quite a few penalties being handed out for certain bits and bobs I've seen already, even just on stream. So do they, Katinka, I think. There's dozens of them. Aquaminerali there. So it's nice when you get the momentum out of that corner just right, and he's got a great run at Vincent. Vincent's like, I'll go defensive, and he's like, fine, you do that, I'll just pass you around to the outside instead, and round he gets. That's a lovely move, that is. And Scott will have to slide behind it. He'll try and get past straight away, though. I do love Flavian's livery. That really is a beautiful effort. I will have to make sure I tell him that afterwards. Yeah, leg up into... Is he actually flying, or... Just as you said that, I don't know where he is, so we'll go back on board in a second. No, so Jeffrey and Vincent. 9th and 10th. They've got Pimlo just behind them, so they've closed back down. The two in front fighting a little bit. Down in as well, so these four are all for position. Andrew Pike not too far back. So yeah, the gaps aren't huge, so only nearly 15 minutes into this race. Oh, is it one of those, Rob? Bummer man. We had a couple do that on Thursday. They're like, look, I'm dangerous, I'm stopping. Fair enough, sucks. I love watching your race, man, but I appreciate that. Oh, and there's Scott having to move over. So what's happened there with Vincent? Is he slowed down completely, or is he getting back up to speed? There's a slow moving Ferrari. Let's go on board with him. So he's going to have lost a good few positions there. Yeah, that's Henry's places. So he's down in what, 15th? Not quite that far. Yeah, no, it is. I thought so. Good old ACT timing tower. Sit and go. Is that? Especially when it's a one-off race, different liveries. Not exactly know exactly what livery everyone's gone for, but it's still a bit of a queue of cars. Capriza in 17th. Had a decent season in the GT3s with us so far. Had a couple of cracking results. Ryan Meenan, where is he? Down in 21st at the moment. So started at the back, not able to qualify due to a few technical issues with his monitors. Oh yes, no, I heard. Yeah, that's fair enough, Rob. No, you're good. Oh, well, no, you know, you've been here plenty long enough. We know. You're like, it's a one-off race. You're like, I'm driving poorly tonight. I'm better not being here because I'm just gonna make mistakes and ruin it for others. That's fair enough. Sucks, but it's fair enough. Oh, Killian coming through to get past Menderes. Menderes not really fighting there. Killian comes through up into the top 20. So he's making good headway. Whether he'll be able to catch the guys further forward, not really sure, but he's going to have a flipping good go at it. See Martin Legg. Martin Legg's still going strong. I think he's got so it's a back marker on his tail. Got Zlatnik down in 38th. Saw Martin Brunner earlier on, another bright pink Ferrari. Literally cannot move for bright pink Ferraris. Don't know why everyone just decided to go that colour. Nothing wrong with it. A bit of hot pink, nothing wrong with that. Thomas Stock's in the pits as well. So yeah, a bit of a challenge for a fair few of them this evening. It wasn't going to be the easiest. See what I mean? More pink Ferraris. Even the cars that aren't pink Ferraris have got some pink on them. Fair play though. Another good livery effort from Desmond Fitzpatrick. So currently in 6th. Georgie Sanders though, all over his behind. And he'll want past. He's going to get a lovely run down then to the line. All the way down to Tamburello. And let's go on board then with Sanders. Behind him. There we go. Don't think he's close enough to make him move. No, he'll slot in behind. So he'll be relishing the dry tarmac as opposed to the soaking wet Silverstone he had to try and navigate on Thursday. And Fitzpatrick not really fancying that by the looks of things. Maybe got a poor run and was like, do you know what? I'll have to let him pass at this point. And he's dropped quite a way back already though. So he's lost a few tenths from doing that. So maybe tactical, I'm not sure. Kieran Sharp sitting in 5th. Next car up the road. You can see from those two we were watching just a minute ago in the background there. Nearly 4 seconds away from Sharp. It's Brunner just up ahead. Let's go on board with him. And he's still got Bro and Mormon though right in front of him. So the top 4 still not separated by more than about 3.5, 4 seconds. So in about 15 minutes time you'll be able to pit and run to the end. So I think we will see the odd car chucking it into the pits and go until the end. Or they might run this as long as they can, knowing full well that if they have to pit and repair the car they don't need to bring it in anymore. Oh, and there's a car that's... oh, hello, that's interesting. Rejoin. Yep, that's horrendous. He's going to be getting yelled at like you wouldn't believe unless there's a really good reason for that later on. You do not just go reversing onto track like that, no matter how official or unofficial the race is. So let's go back 30 seconds. Does it catch it? So it will catch the incident. So he's just sort of gone off. The cars up ahead, getting a bit close to each other, and then he'll just chuck it in reverse. And he'll just lamp it straight back on circuit by the looks of things. Yeah, that's awful. That's absolutely dreadful. Never mind. Don't like picking out people on stream, but and I like Pellicano. Been in OTL for quite a long time doing our racing, but that, unfortunately, is not good enough. If that were a league race, he'd be getting a really chunky penalty. So, naughty, naughty. So he'll get going again, but that car is not going to feel good. Best Holzmer, not having a race he was hoping for either. Down in 38th. Back, slightly into the mid pack. Let's go back up on board with Thierry. Still got down in Pimlo, just ahead of him. Sanders as well. So still close on circuits. There's still many positions to be had. Yeah, but you don't reverse at full pelt back towards the track. You just, I mean, you reverse a little bit. You can. He's good enough to not do that. I'm sure everyone here is good enough to not. Unless something weird has happened, like he's pushed his pedal in and it has jammed, which it doesn't look like to me, but I don't know. We'll find out. So it may be wrong. Sometimes there's explanations, but that, I mean, I don't know. Oh, good catch there, Flavian. Good catch. That looked like that was going to kill him for a second. Well rescued though. Mr. Papa Bear. Can you give him a liver? No, we can't give him a pen for the league race for that. I don't think we can. No, we couldn't do that. It will get a bit of a ticking off though if we see that later on. Yeah, Mr. Papa Bear, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. So still an hour and 10 minutes. Plenty of time to go. Those lead cars. Let's go back on board with Adam Stevens then. So, not a bad lead, but it's not exactly huge. 1.5 seconds. They've stayed. Oh, Bro making a mistake off into the gravel. So Brunner then will make his way through into 3rd position then. Aidan Bro down to 4th. Kieran Sharp driving well, driving much better than everyone behind him. Not driving quite as well as the top 4. So he's in a bit of his own space at the moment. Bit of a struggle. But still in 5th position. I could be pretty happy with that, to be honest. Not a driver of the Ferrari on many occasions. Yeah, you noticed, Lorratel, yeah. They're all children. Terrible with the team names, aren't they? As I said, they will take any opportunity to name something in some way to do with men bits. You know, down there. They're all just as bad as each other. All of them. Some are much worse than others. For example, him. So, 12th at the moment. Scott Vincent just behind him, so Scott dropped back a few positions we saw earlier on. Currently in 13th. Yeah, in this, 99.9%. I'm pretty sure they are Katinka. You've seen the team name then, Lorratel, for this one. Let's go and have a look. No, he started at the back, Reese. He started last because his screens wouldn't work until right towards the end of qualifying, so he didn't get a lap in. So we joined after pretty much just as quality was finishing. So he's actually up to 17th from 46th. Sometimes it is genuinely the safest place to start. As I said, the cars that started 35th and 36th, i.e. at the back of the grid in our GT3 league race at Silverstone, in the wet Silverstone on Thursday, they finished, was it 7th and 8th, I think Joe said, or 8th and 9th? Not much, no. I think the AMG Evo's got the slightly nicer aesthetical changes. There's not a whole difference between the cars. Oh, Pike, maybe looking at the inside. Decided against it though. It's got going a little bit wide. A little bit of a mistake. Coming from up through Tosa then. Good boy Vita Sousa. So it's dropped a little bit back. Was 9 thousandths off the back of Killian Ryman. And where is he now? So where's Killian? Yeah, so he's got back a bit. So 15th, 16th. Still, hey, that's a hell of a lot better than where he started. So an hour and 7 minutes still to go. Yeah, so he's still ahead of Pike. So yeah, they know each other very well. So they should be able to manage driving nice and cleanly on track. So still quite a few close battles on circuit. A lot of cars less than a second from the cars in front and behind still. So plenty to still battle for. Bright purple livery here from Matt Acton. Solid clever team name. He decides to use his for a little bit of advertising. Fair enough. Evening, Isaac. Well, I can see you in the you're retired, so that's, I'm going to guess, not well. Is my assumption. So how many cars do we have still on circuit? Let's find out. We have 39, so that's plenty. That's 6 or 7 already retired in the first 25 minutes. Not great. So yeah, so we've lost Jensen Pace, Toby Farrington, Joshua Merrin, Loveless. Tasman's still sat in the pits, so he's technically there. So just those other 4, but there's a few that have actually left the session as well. So Isaac, obviously yourself, Pellicano as well. We saw that crash earlier on. He's dipped out of the race, but plenty still going strong. Not pretty close to the time where they'll be able to just pit soon and then run to the end of the race and not go over their stint time. So still more than an hour to go, and like I said, that maximum stint time of an hour 5 minutes we're about to pass, so They will have the option of pitting whenever they want soon, and that being their mandatory pit done. So Moorman all over Stevens now. You can see Moorman's pushing. 1:42.0 the last lap was more than a second quicker than Adam Stevens in first. So I think we're going to have a battle for the lead very shortly. And it might be how much you can keep Moorman at bay for, how much you can defend for that lead. Brignara trying to push, but 2.5 seconds further back from Moorman. Oof. A big murder. Oh, foot cramp. I've had that a fair few times, Isaac. That's pretty horrendous. Yeah, it was always going to be a bit riskier this race due to the lack of an assessment stroke evaluation and very mixed ability grid, which we often have, mixed ability grid. We will still look at the replays and see the crashes in this race. Trust me. No, Leg's still out on circuit, so Leg technically, and as I said there, Leg I think will be okay on the stint timer. So I think Leg can run to the end now. So now he's continuing. Quite like that livery, if I'm honest, as well. Simple, but quite nice. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, Isaac. There is almost so if you're technically, you say being blocked, if the cars in front of you are, if that's for position and they're defending, then it depends. Obviously, there can be over aggressive defending. But there is an art to trying to get through drivers that are slower than yourself, obviously. And it is on to yourself and everyone else to try and do so. So Moorman nearly pretty much on the back of Stevens, so he's going to get elbows out pretty shortly. So just coming down to the hour left marker. Oh, you wish. That'd be cool if they had. I mean, they won't add safety car to ACC, I don't think, but it would be awesome. Don't know how unfeasible that would be, but pretty amazing if they tried. So Edinburgh dropped back a little bit from Brignara. Still, I mean, kind of close, but 1.2 seconds between the two of them. Not quite, and Kieran Sharp just about viewable in the background before the camera changed there. 3.7 seconds back from Aiden. So still pushing as hard as he can. Geordie Sanders sitting in 6th. Got Fitzpatrick, another pink bottomed Ferrari, sitting in 7th position. James Pilbeam down in 8th. So Isaac, your teammate, BBRE Simsport. I mean, if you could get a clip of it, Isaac sent DM me on Discord. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Obviously, don't send it in the chat or anything. But by all means, happy to look at it. As I said, it will. If people drive like idiots in this race and they haven't been assessed before, it's going to go very, very heavily against them. So they do have to be a bit careful if they try and get in the league race. And we've seen them drive like lunatics tonight. Then yeah, it would not serve them well. But we'll see. So there's very easy to judge sat in the commentary booth. You have to actually look at these things properly and objectively. Sometimes they're different, so we'll not judge too early. So here we are, Moorman then close right up to the back. Stevens doing what he can though. He says he's driven superbly so far. Great performance in qualifying, clear pole position by a couple of tenths, and so far led the entire race from the lights going out. For the first half an hour, he's driven superbly, but he's going to have a very determined Dutchman on his tail very, very soon. So he's doing well just to keep that gap at about half a second, or just a few tenths. Yeah, it's just not quite getting close enough, Sharon. He'll just be waiting for Stevens to make a mistake. Just one slip on a curb on the exit. And there, Andrew Pike into the pits. So there we go. We're starting to see the pit stops of those that fancy getting their pit stop done now. Getting back out again. Still got some good fighting in this mid-pack. Let's go on board with them. Matt Acton again. Atkinson and Menderes just behind him. So less than a second between the three of them. So again, still a good few fights going on in that mid-pack. Chris Williams, just as he goes off in the gravel, we come on board with him. So that will be Coombs driving past. It would indeed. So Coombs taking 15th position from Williams. Williams will slot back in now. And hopefully have another go at him shortly. Let's double check Andrew Pike. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any damage. So he'll get out and away again. So that's his pit stop done. Chatterjee also in the pits. Radu and Leg have already done with their mandatory pit. Whether they have will hit the stint time end, I'm not sure though. I think Leg will be okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some drivers in and around these sorts of positions, popping in sooner. And just run into the end. Depends how confident they are. With the car, whether they feel they need to go slightly heavier. Since not yet, Loic. Since there isn't one. Also, Brignara has made a hefty mistake here. So he is now... Let's go on board with Sharp. So actually, look at that. So it's just 1.2 seconds. Give or take a little bit. 1.4 now. Yeah, between Brignara and Sharp. So Brignara has had a mistake. A very chunky mistake. And is now within sight of Kieran Sharp. For a top 4 potentially. Go back on board Dave Mormon already getting past Stevens then. So did that off camera. Moves up into the lead. It's going to be on Stevens now to try and keep him as close as possible. Do not want Mormon to be getting away. That will be pretty hard to live with. So they can count their blessings that Ryan Meenan had issues in qualifying and just wasn't able to set a time. So he's down in 14th, but is pushing his way forward nicely. See Sousa just up the road. See Sousa trying to close in on Scott Vincent. And we've got Flavian Tuffrey just in front of him. Trying a really solid race so far. Good to see it, said Tuffrey. We haven't seen him in an OTL race for a little while, so good to see him again. In an individual race, I mean. So Pike, after his pit, rejoins in 28th for Chatterjee. Stop go 30-second penalty, so that'll be speeding in the pits. Unfortunately, so he will have to go in again. That'll be a bummer. Massive shame. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing some of the replays afterwards. I'm sure there's going to be some bits and bobs for us to look at. It was not a boring start by any stretch of the imagination. So that's Bro then just in front, so he's dropped back as well. So Bro, Brignara, Sharp. Fairly close on track, couple of seconds between the three of them. So 35 minutes in, 56 minutes to go now. So Pilbeam has got past Fitzpatrick then. Up into 7th. There we go. The change on screen. Mandela's having a bit of an accident. Well, it says there, a bit of a collision, having a bit of a nightmare. Slow on the straight, and the cars behind him really want to try and fire away past. It's going to be 3 wide now. Bit of a recipe for disaster. A little bit of grass there for Mert, so he's going to get that slowed down nicely. Yeah, gets it on the brakes. So slightly slow through Tamburello. Josh Webster, we saw, has had to start from the pit lane. Up into 19th now. Yeah, well done to him. So he's up to 19th. Making up some good spots. So I'm not sure if he was having some technical issues and didn't press driving time. We'll have to find out afterwards. I'm sure something odd went on there, but we'll find out afterwards. Quinten van Vingerden down in 23rd. But a fair way back from Medel and Menderes. So Medel, yeah, just behind that pack we were on board with a second ago. Oh, using all of the runoff there. Christoph Broilans down in 25th. Sorry if I butchered the name. Last Row Racing. Quite a lot of those self-deprecating team names. Not doing too badly though at the moment. 25th. So 35 cars technically still racing. Baz sitting in the pit, so I'm assuming that's him done. So Pike down in 28th will just be waiting for everyone in front to do their pit stop and see if he can take advantage. Pugnard getting ever closer to Bro in front. So coming through Aqua Minerale. Past the car just gone off on the grass a little bit to let him through. Oh yeah, and that's had to be in a bit of an escape. Yeah, that's fair enough. We'll have to go over there. Wise choice, best way to do it. No need to take the sausage curb there. That would have not ended well for anybody. So yeah, just try to make sure you avoid the contact. So we'll have to do that all over again then and try and close back up to Aiden. So, Kieran Sharp, not far back off those again now. Bright brown Ferrari, bright brown again. Got to stop saying that. That isn't such a thing. Brown can't be bright. Not that I've seen anyways. So how far has Jerome pulled away in front then now? That's 3.4 seconds, dearie me. So he has took off into the distance. So he's going to be hard to live with at this point. To reel him back in is going to be difficult. I'm sure they'll have a bloody good go. So back marker just to get past there. Not making it as easy as they maybe could have for Sharp. Hopefully they're getting out of the way nicely though, so Sharp can slot in front. There we go. So he just wants to close down on Brugnaro ahead. Those guys ahead are definitely having the odd mistake. Yeah, I love you too, Smudgy. Love you too. Catch you later, mate. Good to see you as always. All the best. Hopefully see you on Thursday. Well, you're obviously going to be awesome. Heard it here first. Oh, it's Bathurst. Okay, well I hope you're going to be awesome. I don't know what you're like around there. Got fingers crossed nonetheless. Catch you later, mate. So yeah, Mormon just disappearing off into the distance now then. So Brugnaro and Bro still pretty close between the two of them. So Atkinson is faring down in 18th place. Very green Ferrari. Oh, car going off slightly ahead of them. So Axon just trying to close down Webster. He's just got past that black Ferrari then. So it's Daniel Zlatnik just up ahead. Just stay out of the way just about long enough, so that's okay. The cars behind can navigate. Yep, they're all good. They're just a bit further behind, so that's all okay. They're getting very close to each other. So Axon 18th. Josh Webster again, despite all the problems he had early on, still running well. Chris Downing now into the pits. So showing his mandatory pit stop. Moves everyone else behind him up a position. Maxing up to 15th now. Ryan Meenan going very well. Currently sitting in 12th, and Scott Vincent very much in front of him. This is what a lot of the drivers will be using to racing. And this is the site that Killian will have right now. Come down to Aqua Minerale. Now, just a little bit bump off that curb. Yes, you said it. Little looks like it's going to be great, and you just hits the car just a little bit wrong, bottoms out sometimes, and yeah, ruins your corner. You have to just abandon it. Make sure it doesn't cost you too much. Damage limitation by that point. So the AMG can pretty much sail through there. Not so much the Ferrari though, as you can see. Geordie Sanders into the pits from 6th. So down in, just about to come out of the pits now. Down in around 22nd position. So it's a bit different to what we usually do, like I say. So yeah, maximum stint time of an hour 5. So that would technically mean everyone would need to pit in the next 23 minutes. And they'll know that as long as they've read the rules properly, which I mean you would hope they would do. It's literally where you sign up. So we'll see though. I'm not saying I don't trust them to have read the rules, but yeah. I bet it does. Depends if you hit the first sausage curb hard enough, you can sail over the rest of them. So you can miss the next 3 corners entirely. So Ryan Meenan trying to push into that top 10. He's got Jake Coombs just behind him though. So the 3 of them, 10th, 11th and 12th. Still nice and close. It'll be interesting to see how much practice many of these drivers have done on Imola. Seeing as it only came out on Wednesday, there's only a limited amount they could have done. As I said, some will just take a bit more than others. Some are more accustomed to the Ferrari. Mr. Menderes is down in... I've scrolled too far there, hang on. 17th, sorry, you can see him on that screen. Oh, stop go 30-second penalty for Downing. But that's another speeding in the pits then. So Menderes up in 17th. And still to pit, make his pit stop. But going well, going well. He's got Camprucci just behind him. And the... So in the Ferrari, of course he's in the Ferrari. Easy to slip into that. So yeah, top 20 at the moment. Oh, Sharp is in the pits, taking his pit stop now. So that might drop him back down a little bit, so that'll be interesting to see if that works out for him. So yeah, he's into the pits. No, he's already done his pit stop, so he's on his way out then. So he'll come out not too far back. Adam Stevens, yeah, quite a gap. 4.7 seconds up the road to Moorman. 3.3 seconds back to Aidan Bro, who himself is still quite close to Mattia Brugnada. Still the Italian trying to hunt down that final podium spot. So interesting that Sharp decided to pit when he did. So it comes out to a little bit ahead of Geordie Sanders, but it's the things. 10 seconds back from Van Vingerdon. So it looks like he might have got himself a little bit of... oh, look at that. He's come out in lovely clean air. Oh, that's beautifully planned. I mean, if he has planned that like that, that's impeccably done. He's got absolutely acres of space. So that will help in terms of him just being able to push. Not that he was particularly being held up beforehand. That looked like a possible incident. I think the car maybe just having its own foray with the gravel. I think Brugnara maybe being one of them. And possibly a back marker. Yeah, I think that was Van der Velden. Yes, it was. So, not sure quite if too much went on there. We'll stay on board with these guys. Sousa and Coombs into the pits as well then. So they're coming in now. So people making those pit stops. So Pilbeam is faring. So again, a bit of a race of his own at the moment. 11.7 seconds behind Brugnara. And Fitzpatrick another 6.1 behind him. So driving well though. Fairly solid first 45 minutes to him. So we're just over halfway now. Quite rare for the game to not tell me it's over halfway. Weird unless I didn't hear that. Adam Stevens then, second position, comes into the pits. So interesting to see where he filters out, especially regarding where Kieran Sharp is now. So he slots into his box. Does he get a nice pit box? Let's see. Does his car get pushed back? No, I think he was alright. You give yourself so much time by nailing that pit stop. You really do lose a lot of time if that goes wrong. So good start. A good pit from him there. Mormon though driving imperiously. Look at this. So in first at the moment, 10.2 seconds ahead of Aidan Bro. But his lap time is just very, very consistent at 42.4 in his last lap. 41.7 is his best lap in the race so far. And I think that is the best lap in the race by anybody as of yet. Ryan Meaning though up to 5th. You can see Stevens, Pilbeam, Pimlow, Vincent and Williams all pitting at the same time. So a few positions being swapped. So by my calculations, they have about another 17 minutes to make their pit stops. Be interesting to see how many forget that. Hopefully no one. Hopefully everyone remembers that. Capriccia having a bit of a moment with a back marker, I think. I was slightly scratched up looking for Ferrari in the first place. Brugnara still going strong. 2 seconds now behind Aidan Bro. So it's dropped back a bit more. So leader comes into the pits. Yeah, I think everyone basically now is thinking that's them. They'll pop in and get their pit stop done. So Brugnara in, Bro in, Mormon in, top 3 into the pit. So Fitzpatrick will be the natural successor, unless he's about to come in himself. He's not, so he will pop up into the lead. So Ryan Meaning driving a superb race from the very back of the grid. So Webster as well, starting in the pit lane. Driven fairly solid races, seem to have avoided the drama so far. Fitzpatrick abandoning there. Fair enough, decided that he'd probably go completely bellies up if he tried to make the apex still. So cut through the gravel. So let's clean off those tyres a little bit. So let's go and see. So where is Kieran Sharp at the moment then? He is down in 12th. Where did they join around him? So Sanders behind him. Adam Stevens 5.8 seconds ahead. So they're all thereabouts. It'll be fascinating to see where the others come out. So Brugnara, you can see Aidan Bro just up ahead. Where's Mormon? So Mormon, yeah, fair chunk still ahead of Aidan Bro. Looks like he's nailed his stop then. But it's Brugnara. Yeah, game being a bit confusing there. So no, Brugnara slots back into seconds by the looks of things. No, he's 8th. We'll not ignore this. So yeah, second if once they've all sorted themselves out. So no, Mormon. Lovely pit from him, but Brignara and Kieran Sharp fighting for this position. Sharp, beautiful move. So he's gained time on that pit stop beautifully there. Up into 8th. So he's going to be 6 seconds now though behind Bro. So yeah, Brignara did not get a good pit stop. I think he's probably missed, just got dragged back in his pits, and that's what it does. That's how much it can cost you. So Menderes and Campresa into the pits as well now, just coming out. Top 4 still to pit. Ryan Meenan, Fitzpatrick, Webster and Atkinson. Other than that, let's see who else has got to pit further back. Let's see, it's going to be Matt Acton. So just Hugavine. Just Ilko Hugavine to make their mandatory pit now, and he's in the pit. So I think that's pretty much everybody done. Good. So always nice when people, it seems, have actually read the rules. Oh, that's a bumpy old exit. That's not quite how he wanted to get around there, but kept it pointing in the right direction, which when that happens is about all that matters. So yeah, these top 4 have got still got another 15 minutes to potentially make their pit. But everyone else pretty much done. But these guys trying to bathe in the glory of a top 4 spot until it gets so cruelly taken from them when they pit stop. So Ryan Meenan only 5.4 seconds back from Fitzpatrick. It's going to be fascinating to see where he slots back out on circuit when he comes out of the pits. Bro not far back from Stevens, so yeah, Mormon made a hell of a jump at the pits. Really superb, nailed that. And the rest of them not quite as much. Looks like Sharp had a good pit stop as well, but Bro and Stevens now. Provisional 2nd and 3rd on track once those pits have been made by the top 4. So you have Evan Girding down 23rd now, unfortunately. Done his pit stop, but still going strong. Number 5, Ferrari. Oh, going slightly long there, Stevens. You can see Stevens making a few little mistakes, so he's making him vulnerable. Bro wants to have a look, so Stevens moves to the inside. He's going to go defensive. Bro will go down the right-hand side. Coming down to Ravazza. I stay too wide. That's going to be difficult to go too wide. Might have to lose a little bit of gravel. So Stevens comes out ahead, but nicely driven by both of them. Still both going strong. So Webster into the pits now. Just the top 3 to make their mandatory pit. Ryan Meenan driving really well as well. He is closing that gap actually on Fitzpatrick. 3.4 seconds. So the back marker just ahead of him. Trying to see what car number it is, but I've got no chance. My eyes are good, but they're not that good. Let's have a look. Car number 57. So that is Mr. Pike, actually. Yes, of course it is. Now I recognise the livery. Now I've said that. So yes, Andrew Pike is down in 17th. So a lot of the cars in and around those positions, though, quite close in terms of gaps on track. So you've got Jake Coombs down in 14th. So Webster, where has he come out? Well, he's just coming out of the pits now. So where is that going to drop him down? When he goes through the next sector time, we will get a true idea, but it's not 14th, I don't think. We'll see. So this is Pimlico. So, once they've all gone through another sector time, we'll all see. Killian Ryman in now into the pits as well. Yep, he's in the pit box. Just Atkinson and Fitzpatrick left to hop in. But Jerome driving really just superbly. I had him down probably as a favourite for this race. Seeing it's in the car he's pretty familiar with. Obviously not the Evo version, but I'm sure he's been driving that a lot since Wednesday. And yeah, he's as strong as I was expecting him to be quite honest. So one of the strongest drivers anyway, but also it's pretty much already in his strongest car. The rest of them, the quick drivers that might usually fight with him. Not the case for them. Ferrari's very much a car they don't drive very often. So yeah, it's always going to be stacked a little bit in Mormon's favour, but he's taken advantage of that beautifully. He's driven very well. Didn't have all his own way at the start. had to push to catch up to Adam Stevens. Stevens making that great start the first half an hour. And him closing that gap bit by bit until he got him. And yeah, has not looked back since. Hasn't needed to as he disappeared off into the distance. So Sharp still 4.2 seconds back. He has pulled away from Brugnara though. Brugnara is now 4 seconds behind Sharp. So Brugnara's not had a good time of it since his pit stop. I think he must have made an error in the pits and I think has just sort of compounded it since with a few errors out on circuit. As we have just over half an hour to go then. Final 34 minutes of this race. Coming up to a back marker, blue flags coming out there. Oh, very much. That's one way to get out of the way. Don't believe they did that on purpose, but fair enough. They stayed there and let the other cars through. So I think that was Martin Legg. I believe it's a car that probably feels like a bag of spanners. It was, but still going 31st. Still going strong out on circuit. To finish first, you've got to finish. Unlikely to finish first, but he will finish hopefully. So in the wall racing his team name, so he came into tonight with a massive amount of enthusiasm. Not so much confidence though. So Mormon overtaking JP Atkinson to go into second position, and that's considering Atkinson hasn't pitted yet. That's pretty astonishing. So basically a full pit ahead of Atkinson, who is no mug as well. Atkinson will not come out that far back. Mormon 12 seconds ahead of Aidan Bro. It's a couple of Adam Stevens. So him and Bro still very much fighting with each other. So Martin Legg still just behind them. As I come out of Aqua Minerale once again. Fitzpatrick into the pits now, so just Atkinson. He's got about another 7 minutes to make that pit stop. So Sharp, 3.2 seconds back. See him just there. Having come up through the chicane. Through Variante Alta. So keep an eye on that gap then. 3.2 at the moment, especially if these two fight. He would actually, you know, if you're Kieran in this situation, you very much want Bro and Stevens to really battle it out and to start compromising each other by making moves and having to defend. So they're a little bit far apart for his liking, I'm sure. So Jerome Wiedmann setting his personal best on the personal best lap on the last lap. Car off into the gravel. That's smarted, so that rejoins nice and safely there. Oh, right, they're getting a bit squirrely on the old gravel. So Sharp just getting past Martin Legg there. So it's dropped to 4.4 back again then. So he's lost a bit of time, 1.2 seconds to them too. So he's either had his own issue or he's got caught up a little bit with back markers. Stevens not too far back still from Bro. No, he's actually closed the gap again instead of half a second. That clearly has come down somewhat. So it's half an hour to go. Just Atkinson left to make that pit stop. Sitting in second at the moment, but that was obviously dropping down a good handful of places once he does come back out. Fitzpatrick rejoined in 13th. Let's not bother with him. Let's see where he is. So yeah, just behind Vitor Sousa. Jerome Ormer's teammate in MSL. Got Jake Coombs just a couple of seconds up the road as well. Scott Vincent still looking on for a top 10 possibly. He's got Coombs. You can see though Coombs and yeah, the drivers behind him are not going to be too far back, so he's still going to have a fight on his hands. Ryan Meaden in the top 10 still. Cracking drive from him. Cheers, cameraman. Don't know what the hell that was about. And yeah, he's got 4.6 seconds to catch to Pilbeam. Got half an hour to do it. So he's definitely got the ability to. Well, we'll be able to. Who knows? Atkinson then, final driver, pops into the pits. So Moorman takes up his rightful place at the front of the pack. So still setting 42 flats as well, cracking lap times at the moment. Moorman, 14.2 second lead back to Bro. Stevens, 1.2 seconds back. So didn't have the best final sector of that previous lap and dropped back a bit. So within the last half an hour then, Stevens trying to catch that gap back up to Bro. Kieran Sharp still trying to close that gap back down to those guys ahead. Has dropped that gap by about half a second again. 4.0. And the gap Brignara another 4.6 seconds back. Geordie Sanders driving a really solid race himself, still sitting in a solid 6th position. Pilbeam, just pink Ferrari after pink Ferrari at the moment. Sitting in 7th. Clean Ryan Meenan back in 8th. But closing that gap quite nicely at the moment, 3.7 at the line. Scott Vincent, so going well himself, sitting in 9th. Vitor Sousa, the Portuguese, come to the line, currently in 10th. Fitzpatrick, with Jake Coombs and Pimlo all over his tush. So he'll want to. It might be a bit far-fetched for him to try and catch Sousa ahead. That looks like an ambitious move from Coombs there. Well, I thought he was going to go for a move from behind there. I say if he'd have gone for that, that would have just been a crash. There was no way on earth he was getting past cleanly. And that would have compromised him quite badly. So he's dropped back again a little bit. He's gone board with Quinton then. How's he faring? So only 7/10 back from Mert Menderes. You can see in front of you there. Nice couple of simple livery paint jobs there. Nothing overly complicated. So how many cars do we have actually left on circuit? Let's have a look then. In my leg. So it's now we have 35. So Tasman's still sat in the pits, but we still have 35 drivers out on circuit. Leg's still going strong. So Gledo obviously not having the best of races either, unfortunately, but still going. Yeah, Browntown, lovely livery name there. Very much to lives with his car colour. I mean that's brown, isn't it? There's no debating that. Oh, Josh Webster then. We have a drive-through. That's gutting. So that will be for track limits, I think. Or is he gone then? Or has he completely disappeared? Oh, I think he does. I think he's quit out. That's a shame. I think he still would have done okay had he carried on through, but I think he's gone. Pity. It is what it is. Well, Stevens just having a poor exit there from Macron Minerali, so it was right up the back of Aidenborough there for a second, and yeah, that exit's going to have cost him. As you see, it's dropped quite a long way back now. So he's going to have to build up again. He's going to have to push and try and close that gap back down. I said Moorman, look at that, with a 14.6 second lead. Off into the distance, that's going to be pretty much impossible for anyone to catch unless something happens to Giron. He should be safe and sound until the end of the race. Yeah, he's pushing hard. So his previous lap was a 42.4. His best lap is a 41.6. So his best lap is the fastest lap of the race, I think. 41.631. His last lap though, 42.444. So not up to Mormon's current speeds, but doing well in that pack that he's trying to fight with. So he's only 1.9 back at the moment. It's gone ball with him then. So that is Pilbeam just up ahead. So he's got positions right in front of him. Next couple of cars are for position. So he's got a potential top 5, top 6 there. I mean, top 5 would be fairly difficult. Top 6 though. Possibly achievable. And obviously from the back, that's a great drive. So 1.4 seconds back now, not much between them. Stevens still pushing hard, but that gap not really coming down now. 0.683 of a second at the last line. Brian making a little mistake though, kicking up some dirt and pushing on. Regardless, still only just under 23 minutes to go, as I say. So quite a few fights out on circuit. Still got Fitzpatrick and Coombs here. Pimlo 1.3 further back from them as well. So some interesting battles still to be had. And not long left to go. So any mistakes now in this last portion of the race could prove costly. So got to keep your nose clean. Slightly battered front end from Coombs, but doing okay. So sitting in 12th. I'm sure he's pretty happy with that so far. Quite a few of the gaps staying pretty similar to what they've been for a good few laps now. We've got Flavian Teferi. We've got you can see Axon just behind him. So 16th and 17th. So on for top 20 finishes. I'll be pretty happy with that. And Derez as well, fighting to try and catch the back of Quinten van Vingerden. Go on board though with Ryan Meenan. He's closing that gap very, very quickly to Pilbeam. It's like, yeah, under a second now. And he's not hanging around. He's pushing here. And Pilbeam is going to have some defending to do pretty shortly, I fear. I think he knows that too. So his rear view mirror is going to be full of red Ferrari pretty shortly. Doing pretty well considering he hasn't. I don't think that car's got a setup on it. I don't think he's had any practice really. I bet he doesn't. We'll find out shortly. So come back on board them in a minute again. So was there an incident between Grayling and Batmark and possibly 17, which is Daniel's Latnik. It said here in 778 having a crash. Not sure they were anywhere near each other, but Grayling trying to have a fight. Andy Medell. So pushing further forward though, he's trying to catch Campresia just ahead of him. So lovely looking livery there from Medell. Do appreciate that. Do approve. Oh no, yeah, I'm sure he doesn't. I'm saying that none of you guys are going to give up positions easily, and neither should you. Of course. So Stephen's still all over the back of Bro. Bro keeping him behind nicely though. Doing his job. And here we are. Pilbeam is going to have some defending to do nice and soon. TF3 are with a drive through now though. That's a shame, so that'll be track limits again, I'm sure. So that's massively gutting. I'll drop him back a fair few positions. But hey, there's still 20 minutes to go. Other drivers could easily get drive-throughs. I mean, frankly, so would mine. Isaac, that would be exactly what I'd be doing. Because if you fight with him, you're just going to hemorrhage positions. At this point, like you say, I think sensible choice would be slot him behind and go with him as long as you can. Martin Leg in the pits again then, so I think he's had an off with someone. Do we catch it if we go back 30 seconds? Or not? Not quite. Annoying. So we just about missed it. Typical. Now we've got to sit for the rest of the replay. This is why replays are a dangerous thing on this game. So it said either it's a mistake or it was involved with Ilko Hugavin. So we'll have to... it did look like it might have been on his own. If I can feel, maybe not then. Language legger. You've been in a crash, you know what to do, and that is to not vent in the chat. There we go. Back on the track. Ah, that replay system is annoying. Anyways, we carry on regardless. So there's Pilbeam still cracking himself. Got Ryman and bearing down and not too far back. Stephen still trying to catch Bro. Sharp still trying, but failing at the moment to close that gap on Adam Stevens any further. Still 5.6 further back. Well, that's cool. I said I can tell you're not happy, but don't vent in the stream chat. That is not what it's for. So, good stuff. But obviously, I did try to catch whatever might have happened. Didn't quite catch it. Went back 30 seconds and probably missed it by 5. Cheers, Bushido. Cheers, ma'am. Mr. Pelicano. Much obliged. So you've got Sanders just in front of them as well. So there's a couple of positions to be had here. Like Isaac says in the chat, you've got Sanders there in 6th, just at the front of that queue. Oh, thank you very much, man. Cheers, dude. Okay, Leg. Previous statements still stand, so, you know, I'd take heed from those. It's a bit hard to DQ someone when there's no stewards, and you know that full well, so... Yeah, I'm sure I do. This is on PC, Evo. This is on PC. So you can have. So we've had races with 50 cars. We had the Monza 6-hour race 2 weeks ago. It's pretty awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed that. But anyone who's done anything mad on this, well, it will go against them. Like if they try and do future events, and we know they've driven like a lunatic in this race, they'll get told they can't. So yeah, just because you bottled it, Isaac. Just because you bottled it. In quali, I can't remember what happened in the race. It was a long race, but I remember quali. So we do have ACC on PS4 and Xbox, though. We do have ACC on all 3. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, look. You did in Super Bowl. No worries, Evo. Any more questions? Feel free, just shoot. Happy to answer them. That's kind of what I'm here for. So these 3 just really not fancying to muck around with the order. They quite like how they're sat. Oh, no, I think Ryman now very much close enough that he's starting to think of how to get past here. Oh, saying that, he's not going to have to think about it anymore. He's had a bit of a helping hand from Pilbeam, who was hit the back of Sanders. Sanders tries to fly through the corner, and fair play just carries on as he should. So that has not gone well for Pilbeam. You've got to be a little bit prepared for them to break the tiny bit early. I don't know. I don't know. Depends how early is early, but cars aren't going to break at the same point every single corner, every single lap. Sure, come on. It's not quite that easy. Sitting in the commentary bit was easy for me to say. Yeah, we have ACC stuff going on Xbox at the moment. If you join the Discord, if you're not in there already, if you go to otlracing.com/discord and join there, apply your correct roles, and you will be able to see the chat channels for it. And you can get involved. Just pop your head in there, say hi, say you'd like to get involved in some racing, and yeah, I'm sure they can start talk you through the process and get you involved. So now Ryan Mealing then, just as Sanders to try and get through. Pilbeam, having made that mistake, has dropped back a little bit. So he'll have to hope now that maybe Sanders can fight, keep him back, and that maybe allow him to catch back up. Stevens still not been able to quite get past Bro. He's just in the back of that white Ferrari lap on lap now for about half an hour. Probably sick of the sight of it by this point. And you can't blame him. You definitely can't blame him. Atkinson on the rear of Andrew Pike. Pike going for a very narrow entry. On Fitzpatrick with the drive-through then. As I said, we're going to see plenty of those, I think. Maybe in the next 13 minutes. We've already seen plenty, but I think we might see a couple more. Well, Chris Williams in the pit centre. He's had to pit again. It's unfortunate. Ash Gledall in the pits as well. Is he done? Or is he still... So let's have a look. No, I think he is finito, unfortunately. That is a dirty looking brown car, but it's a shame. So just 12.5 minutes to go now then. And Sharp. Yeah, it takes heed of those back markers, and he's still trying to close that gap on Stevens, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, 6 seconds. It's still been in and around that for quite a long time. Going to be quite hard to close that gap much further. So he makes inroads every now and again, and then it drops back a little bit. Well, you've got your replay leg, I'm sure. You can show it to me at some point later or something anyways if you've got the replay. No worries, Evo. Like I said, I've got OTL Max 88. That's me. The one who posted that link there. I have the same name in Discord. If you've got questions, feel free to shoot me any more in Discord. And yeah, you'll see someone called Cajun in the Discord. They are one of the people that helps run the ACC side on Xbox. There's a Johnny Ash as well. Another one to look out for. Yeah, they're welcome in bunch. So just pop up, say I sent you. Say Matt sent you from the stream, and yeah, hopefully get him involved. What bit doesn't want to work? The recording or the replay leg? So, nearly into the final 10 minutes then. So, let's go on board with Pike. Let's go on board there. Half a second, so Atkinson. Yeah, about a second now then has pulled away a little bit. So Atkinson looking pretty strong. It's done pretty well in his introduction to PC racing and especially ACC. So he's a driver that has some real life experience, so that is definitely holding him in good stead. I think that's helping him benefit. Got boy Flavio Antefri. So we've got Fitzpatrick as well, dropping down a few positions, solving his drive-throughs. He's still in the game. Well, I say he is, but he's pitting, so that might be him done as well then. Bit of a shame if people are just sitting out and not bothering to do the last 10-15 minutes. So just 9 minutes 20 seconds to go then. So still a few fights on circuit to be had. 30 drivers still circling, so it's quite a hefty amount of DNFs. So it's a bit of a shame. So it's always going to be a bit tough, like I said. But yeah, a bit of a pity that some haven't fought on for a little bit longer. It is what it is. Let's jump over Tier 3 and Medell then. So apparently those cars had a little bit of contact a minute ago. Oh, and that looks like he might be letting him pass, so I suspect, yeah, that's a car saying, screw you, or very much thank you for letting me back. And there's a car seeing that bus stop chicane and thinking, nah, don't really fancy that. So it takes to the gravel. So how far is Mormon ahead now then? So he's not got long to go until he will likely take victory. 15 seconds, so does have to be careful not to have a big off. Does have to be a bit mindful coming through the back markers. Looks like Aidan Broby's on for a solid finish. Though he's pulled a gap now back to Adam Stevens. Stevens, though, has driven superbly, so hopefully for him he might still make the podium. He's got a lead of 5.5 seconds to Kieran Sharp, so he's looking fairly secure still, has to be said. So yeah, as you say then, Killian been a little bit murdered, so Killian and Sanders, first chicane collision, so I haven't been sorting out people acting like children, unfortunately, but there we go. Is what it is. Grown adults could handle themselves, but not always the case. So it's just 6 and a bit minutes to go, but yeah, Killian then. So unfortunately the way the replay system works on here, not particularly the best to use, unfortunately, so bit of a pity. So Sanders still up in 7th. So Scott Vincent trying to navigate around the final corner. Killian as well, just behind him. How far back is Sousa? So yeah, Sousa's not far back at all. So there's a chance for Vitor to take, especially if Killian has damage, to take that top 9 spot. Yeah, it's through your graphics card. It's probably your best shout. So just under 5 minutes to go now then. So still a few battles close on circuit. For those that are still left with us. So let's see who's still running. Let's find out then. So Zlatnik currently running in 30th, last of the runners. So that means a third of all cars that started the race have finished. Absolutely terrific. Not long to go now. Medel still trying to fight with Flavian Teferi. Trying to take that 19th position off his hands. So it looks like he's driven fairly well though tonight, Andy Medel. At 1/3. So 15 of the... There was 46, I think, started, and we've got 30 now, so... So Sousa still sitting in 10th. Let's go back on board with him. So still not far back from Ryan Meenan. But I think Ryan Meenan is still driving solidly enough. I don't think it's going to be very easy to catch him just the last portion of this race. So Mormon looking nice and strong. Stevens dropped back a fair bit from him. Sharp fairly comfortable 5 seconds back, and Brugnara as well in 5th spot. And then, so that is a back marker. So he's currently sitting in 17th. I see any more fights in and around slightly further back. Not sure there is many, unfortunately, not now. So Pilbeam is faring, so still sitting in up to 6th now then, with Sanders and Ramin having their coming together. Just 2.5 minutes to go now. Until you hit the end of this 90-minute race here at Imola. And Mormon looking very, very good for the win. Does have to be said. Was 50th lap. So very comfortable with Imola now. 15.7 seconds the lead. Stevens 2.3 behind Aidan Bro. Grim Sharp about 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds back, yet in 4th. Brugnara still sitting in 5th. So Ryan Meenan and Sousa probably the furthest forward fight still technically going on. And Ryan Meenan still at 1.8 seconds, you can see that is Vincent actually in front. So 8th position is just in front of him. Vincent's still going strong though. And Sousa you can see in the background just behind them. So Mormon then possibly on his final lap. We'll have to see here. It's going to be close. So that's 16.1 second lead. Superb drive from him. So Stevens, you can still see Aidan Bro ahead of him, but I don't think Bro will make that kind of mistake you see there. So not far off. It's a 2.3, but you can very much still see him. Not that far away on circuit. See how close it's going to be for Mormon now. So 40 seconds left on the timer. GRT Matt M, thank you very much for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you are doing well. So another yellow flag out there, so someone going off. So yeah, a bit close, but I think this will be the final lap. I think this should probably be the end of the race. So yeah, Mormon coming through Ravazza. Final corner for probably the final time. And that is a superb performance there from Jerome Mormon. An absolutely imperious drive from start to finish. Absolutely wonderful stuff from him. And it comes across the line. Take the checkered flag. Well done, Jerome. Superbly driven. Aidan Bro. Come around the final corner. That's a great second position. Very well fought for. Very well earned and deserved. Well done. Adam Stevens gets on the podium still. He'll be very happy with that. So it was in the lead for the first half an hour of the race, but just couldn't hold the pace of Jerome Mormon and Bro back. Kieran Sharp finishing in 4th spot. That's a cracking drive from him as well. Brugnara coming down to the line. Takes 5th position. Car number 666. Well done to you, Mattia. James Pilbeam took advantage of that incident further back. Let's go back a little bit back further. Geordie Sanders will take 7th, but Scott Vincent trying to hold off Killian. Coming up to the final corner. Has to nail that last corner. Use as much of the runoff as he can. Killian is going to have a go. A little bit flashy to save her play. Well done. Nice, always fun to do that coming down to the line, especially when you're that close to another car. Vincent will take 8th spot just ahead of Ryan Meenan. Good driving by both of them. Well done. Ryan Meenan taking 9th. So still getting the top 10, which is impressive from where he started. And Vitor Susak getting the top 10. Jake Coombs coming home in 11th. Pimlow will come home in 12th spot. Atkinson a little bit further to go still. Every other driver, I think, being lapped has already now finished then. Pike coming home in 14th, Van Vingard in 15th, Vindaris 16th, Acton 17th, Campresa in 18th. Jeffrey just under a second ahead of Medell on the line. Down in 21st, Broylance in 22nd, Baruka in 23rd. Let's see, we had Gardner, I think, come home in 24th. He did. So Atkinson there crossing the line then. Coming home in 13th. Well done, man. So, fair play to those who did make it to the end. There were a lot that didn't. So, yeah, those who got to the completion of the race, well done. Well done, Jerome. Superbly driven, sorry. No one's going to live with you there. Cheers for the host. A little bit late because we've literally just finished, but it's the intention that counts. It's the thought that counts, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you. Yeah, hope you're well. And so yeah, it's what you can see that's how many we started with 46, and you can see how many did not finish. So I think Zlatnik was the final car to have done the vast majority of the laps. So everyone from Fitzpatrick downwards there was a DNF of some description. So yeah, we'll have to find out why and what for. Well, will we find out? I do not know. But we'll see. So Mormon there, yeah, 14.792 seconds. The victory margin in the end. Bro, though, I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Second position in that Ferrari. Stevens on the podium as well. Another great drive from him. Better than I thought he'd fare in the Ferrari. Only see him in the Bentley usually. And it turns out maybe he's in the wrong car. Evening, AJ. So yeah, fairly driven from him. Kieran Sharp coming home in 4th. Again, he'll be pretty happy with that. Beating home Mattia Brugnada. Coming home in 5th. So we'll not go through all of them there. But yeah, so there was plenty going on further down the order. And there's bits and bobs happening that I'm sure we'll have to look at afterwards. Oh, you're showing P25. But you passed the line 24. Interesting. Don't know. I don't think it could probably come up in the results file properly. I wonder why that might have been. I can't pretend I have any idea why, Mav. But yeah, fair play to getting to the end though. I appreciate that. Yeah, well done. Well done, John. You drove superbly. I said I fancied. Well, everyone fancied doing that car. You know, we know how familiar you are with that machine, the Ferraris in general. So superb drive. Well done. Oh dear, I think someone's. Hang on. Damn it, it's not working. It's probably sitting in the pits for long enough and Scott realises it's still on stream. It's always Scott. Cheers, Katinka, much appreciated. So yeah, anyways, on that note, it's quite late. We've gone on a bit longer than normal. I'll pretty much leave it there. So yeah, very much appreciate the new follows and the cheers and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. I much appreciate it. So your eyes and ears, I very much appreciate you watching tonight with me. So yeah, some interesting racing. We'll get some stuff to have to look at afterwards. It's always going to be a little bit that way. Most of our races get assessment and evaluated before the league events. So you don't often get lots of silly driving. Tonight was a bit of a chance of that due to the fact there wasn't an assessment. It was a one-off spur of the moment race. But it is what it is. And we'll have to see what we see later on. So yeah, cheers everybody. Thank you very much again for watching. I hope you found that entertaining. So some good driving by many of them. There's still some quite good battles all the way up to the final line. And yeah, it was good. It was enjoying. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Scott. Yeah, buzzing me late. It says good drive that. Just about kept Killian behind. Good drive from Killian all the way from the back of the grid. Very impressive. But yeah, we very much enjoyed it. So yeah, on that note, cheers everybody. Yeah, well done, James. Well done. For survival of the fittest, that was, I think. So yeah, very much well done to those who are pleased with their race. So we'll have a few bits to go through afterwards, so that's going to be fun as always. But yeah, so I'll be next on stream on Tuesday, bit of Xbox Project Cars 2. We've got the GT3 League on ACC from Bathurst on Thursday. That's going to be as eventful as it sounds. If you thought tonight was bumpy, oh boy, that's going to be fun. Friday, we've got the race from BMW 235 I-League again. But yeah, looking forward to all that streams coming this week. But yeah, thank you very much for watching with me tonight. Very much appreciated. Hope you have a fine rest of your Sunday evening, and I will catch you all next time. So see you all soon, and goodbye.